All right, Virgo, what's up for you guys? Let's see what's going on. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the end of May. Let's check it out. This could be a relationship reading or a career reading. Whatever wants to come through for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, we are going to check it out. And if this message does not resonate for you, just leave it for the people who it does resonate for and go check out your Moon, Rising, or Venus sign if you're looking at this as your sun sign. All right, let's see what's happening. What is happening, Charlie? Finally settling down. Let's see what's going on for you. Okay, underneath is magic. This card's come out a couple times, actually. Woo! Stormy. What's going on, Virgo? Home. Full moon. Okay, we just had a full moon in Scorpio yesterday as I'm doing this reading for you, middle of May. And, you know, Scorpio energy is about death, is about endings, is about coming to some kind of stopping point. But it has to do with intimacy. And home is very intimate, right? So that's really Cancerian energy. Right, Cancer, that home rules the fourth house. You rule the eighth house of secrets, behind the scenes. I feel like there's something coming out of you now. Because, like, it's one thing to kind of hold things. I'm just getting this image of, like, trying to hold things together. And now there's just this relief. Okay, because I don't have to hold it together anymore. I don't have to be polite to this person anymore. I don't have to. There could be an ending to a career path or an ending to something where the ending of it brings a lot of relief. Okay, Virgo, you rule the sixth house, not the eighth house. I don't know why I'm thinking about Scorpio. Well, I do know why. The Scorpio rules the eighth house. Okay, there we go. You rule the house of routines and day-to-day activities and health and well-being and also healing. And I feel the same. I feel like there's some kind of relief headed your way after a lot of storms, after a lot of issues, or a lot of like finally something has just can't hold it together anymore. And it's a relief. All right. Can't hold it together anymore. Big old relief. Why am I using this deck? I wanted to use this deck. Okay. Using this deck. King of Wands. Six of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Here you go. The Virgo card of the Hermit and the Two of Pentacles. So I am seeing the Three of Swords, and I don't want to not see that card because I feel like you're getting clarity around what kind of wisdom came from the ending of something. You might still be in the storm of it, or you might have just let go of something. But now what's going to happen now, what's going to come to you now is an understanding of why it happened. Why was I in that situation to begin with? Why was this part of my life? I am taking action and moving on. Mars in Leo. You've done that, or you are doing that, or you're about to do that. And this is, I like this. This is a lot of clarity and a lot of wisdom. And so this Two of Pentacles, some of you feel like you could stay somewhere, but I honestly feel like you think you can, but I don't think it's a good idea. Okay. So some of you are saying, well, you know, I could just stay in this house after living here for 15 years with my ex, and now I want to keep the house, or I want to turn it into my own, make it my own. I'm almost feeling like you might get the aha moment of, you know what, I'm just going to move on and find my own place. Okay, there's something like that around home, and I know that you want to find your place. I feel like you're going to come to some kind of awareness that you're needing to move. Okay. It's like, let's just call it a day. When I got divorced, I got laid off and divorced, like within the same couple of months, like all of it happened all at once. And I just thought Maine was kicking me out. This was back in 2008. And so I just up sticks and left because it did feel good to sort of have a brand new outlook, a brand new place to be, new people, new coffee shop, new everything. Without the sameness of that life. And at first I thought maybe you're running away or maybe you're not really processing this. But right away I got the notion or the download of like, you cannot heal in the same place that brought the problem. And there's something about having new surroundings that is going to really help you. Okay. So here you are, King of Pentacles, liking that. Look at the 3 kings here. 6 of Cups, Knight of Wands. Could be dealing with a Sag, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius. I see you here, Virgo. 10 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. Wow. 9 of Cups. Now, this combination has come out, you might be surprised to hear, a few times. And I feel like you're walking into something that is very blessed. Okay, walking towards a brand new, a new place, a new space, a new opportunity. Page of Pentacles, lots of excitement here. The 10 of Wands and the 4 of Swords. Remember what I said about running away? I almost feel like you're, Virgo, you're super practical. And I love that about you. And what I feel like you're going to be, you might kind of hold back because, hey, I don't want to run away. I need to work on this and heal this and deal with this. And that's true because there's a lot to deal with. But I also feel like you need some kind of new horizon, new excitement, new joy to be able to lift your spirits. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is not, I feel like you are dealing with it because here's a healing card too with the 4 of Swords. I feel like you are dealing with the baggage here. Now, some of you may actually do the running away part. All right. Some of you are aware, like, okay, if I move on from this, maybe I'll never deal with the things I need to deal with. But others of you actually do run away and aren't very aware of the fact that you're running away until later, until you get this like 10 of Wands. Like, I still have all of this baggage. Like, wherever you go, there you are. All right. So 10 of Wands. Whoopsie. Hanged Man, Knight of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands. So lots of 8s here. I'm kind of liking this. That's downloads. Hanged Man is enlightenment. I feel like you're going to be, some of you have really pursued the healing part of this chapter, like ending a chapter, and now I'm stepping into healing more. Some of you are really stepping into it and are likely going to make it your work. There's something about that here. Some of you have run away, and the thing that brings you back to the awareness that you need to deal with the past is rage. Some kind of anger or rage is going to trip you up, hold you up, hang you up, something like that. This is the work. This is the work to be done. And the Page of Pentacles, I feel like you're learning a lot about yourself and about what you want. Like, you're a totally different person now. You're a totally different person now. 10 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Wands. I get the feeling that some of you have really buried yourself. And what I mean by that is, by being in that previous relationship or being in some kind of storm around this previous chapter, I think one of the things you're going to become very aware of is how much you lost yourself, how much you didn't stand up for yourself, or how much you weren't who you are right? How much you created a false persona to survive in that environment, how much you did that. And it's like once you, so I got out of a situation and found myself living in a first floor of a house with my kitty cat, and how freeing it was to live on your own. I feel like that might be a really powerful thing. Some of you have kids, okay, but to live on your own, to not have a roommate, okay, to not have other adults around, like to be able oh, to not have anybody come through that door unless you want them to, is a completely freeing kind of thing. And it's almost like I I became myself again. That's when I started this channel. It didn't happen for like a year after I moved into this home. But because it was me alone. I could make decisions on the furniture, on the colors, on what I wanted in the kitchen, on what I wanted for dinner. It was like I reclaimed who I was. And some of you need to do that. Okay, need to do that. Now, I get it if you have kids and everything like that. I feel like I'm speaking to a collective of you whose kids are either, gone to college or grown and gone or something like that. I feel like I'm speaking to a group of you who maybe has never lived on your own. And I feel like if you're able to, I would even, take a smaller place to make that happen. Okay. Or get yourself into a place where you can be very, have a lot of solitude, because I feel like that's really going to heal you. And there can be quite a lot of awareness of how much you had become a person that was sort of what other people expected of you versus your natural self. Some of you are stepping into being more of a magician, more of a like a manifester, more of a teacher, more of a healer, a guide, a mystic, a shaman, all of that stuff, because you're letting go of a construct. Frankly, I think it's not going to make any sense to you anymore. I think the person you've become is somebody that you don't know who they are. And I'm just getting this image in my head of the very first episode of Friends, when Rachel, runaway bride, runs away, and she's walking around in this wedding dress, and she kind of just doesn't even know who she is anymore. So she goes to see Monica, her friend, and that's how Friends starts. And the whole time, like, she's discovering who she is, and that's kind of the theme. She was the main character. Rachel's the main character of that, and then it became an ensemble cast, and then we cared about all of them, but the main character is you. And like, who are you, and what do you care about, and without other people being there to shape it. That's what I'm seeing in this reading. And I almost feel like you completely, maybe it's about letting your old self die, and welcoming in a more natural self, a more authentic self. Finding that home, right? Where you can just kind of stretch out and be who you are, and enjoy yourself. And I remember walking around that apartment, that first floor of that house, just like in awe of like, if I don't like that, I can change that. If I don't want to have, meatloaf for dinner on Sundays, I don't have to have that anymore. I know, right? Like, what were the things that were the expectations of other people? How were they really shaping you? Really, so insidious over long periods of time. There's part of you that's a little bit irascible. There's a little bit ornery. That's a little bit irritated. That's a little bit bad girl. That's, bad boy. There's a little bit of that kind of thing of like, I don't have to conform to anybody else's vision of me anymore. And how freeing that is. And then there's people in your life that show you the container you created, and then when you're free to create, like the life you want to create, how much of a difference are you seeing from where you were to where you are now? And I almost feel like this is happening over this summertime. Okay, I'm not going to put a time frame on this because I feel like all y'all are going through whatever you're going through, but the storm is almost past. And I feel like it's ripping away parts of you that were created for another person's benefit. So let's go deeper. I want to see where you're going with this. I want to give you some options of what's available out there. Let's see what you don't see coming, and let's move into the future. All right. All right, Virgo. Link is below if you want to continue on. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.